Okay, so I was in Chattanooga representing the innovation division of the R&D group, doing a bleaching kaizen. So I got an opportunity to actually catch a TNA Impact. Normally I just read the spoilers, but I was away from my computer, so I actually down and I watched it. So I watched from the British Invasion Explosion, where Rob Terry, who is the global champion, fought one of his former tag team partners. And that match, of course, kind of had a run into it, so it was like a squash became a DQ. And then it was primarily promos and commercial breaks, hyping the main event, and then a commercial break. The Mick Foley's etiquette part, funny, kind of pointless. The Eric Bischoff tormenting Jeff Jarrett. At least it worked into a match where Jeff Jarrett took on Tomko. And Tomko's looking pretty rough now. I mean, the last week of TNA, he was actually in really good shape. Now it looks like he's softened up a lot. And that match actually was clean with a roll-up. And then it was more promos. Like seeing Hogan talk with Abyss. And I was thinking, you're doing two things. You're hyping Monday by covering like the bottom fourth of the screen in a TNA moves to Monday. You shouldn't have a promo so big on the bottom of the screen that it blocks Jeff Jarrett getting pinned. It's like, he's getting pinned. 1, 2, kick out. Okay, but the word Impact is running right across him. I do realize this is like the last Thursday before the huge push to Monday. But it seemed like you were just having a pay-per-view the whole time. It was kind of actually aggravating. I was looking forward to the main event, too. A 4-man match. AJ, Abyss, the Pope, awesome wrestler, and Desmond Wolfe. And then I got to hear Abyss's new Hulkamaniaized theme music. Now I'm glad that they kept up with, the Pope was injured by Flair after he beat AJ Styles. So he sold the injury really well, and I'll be honest. Elijah Burke, D'Angelo Dinero, the Pope, whatever you want to call him, is a phenomenal worker. Great in the ring, great on the stick. He is arguably one of the future stars in the world of professional wrestling. But this match just, for having kind of like 4 of your top guys, really didn't do much. I mean, it was, ironically, it was bland. Now, Burke and AJ is a great match. Burke and Desmond Wolfe are a great match. And anybody with AJ is a great match. How come this match is just kind of meh? And then, AJ's set referee so Flair could work the angle with some of the worst looking chair shots I've seen in a while. And then the ref, calling for the bell. Oh, how could I forget? The Ken Anderson Kurt Angle promo. So out of like an hour and a half of wrestling, essentially got to see 3 matches. One was a throwaway. The Jeff Jarrett Tomko match actually seemed to go back and forth quite a bit. And then your 4-man limit, and then your 4-man main event just didn't really do anything. And then of course there was the fairly standard, well, you know what? Flair, AJ, and Desmond are going to beat up on Pope. Oh man, here comes Abyss. Abyss clear ring. Baseball bat rather than barbed wire. Hogan has to come out, has to bloody up Flair to really help push their main event match on Monday. All in all, I mean, for the talent they've got, unless the first half an hour was just straight wrestling, this was just promos. Man, it was just either a backstage conversation, a promo. Oh, I forgot the beautiful people, beat down. If this is what TNA wants to put on Mondays, they're not going to last very long. Sign whoever you want, fire whoever you want. You're going to need to do something with the writing. Now I know I got lots of, dude, you suck, you know anything about TNA. You know what? I used to love TNA. I love the pay-per-view era, and I loved there on Fox Sports Net. And I watched them a lot when they were on Spike. But then all of a sudden they just kind of hit a moment where storylines were either A, way too long, or B, had no satisfying conclusion. I kind of quit after the lockdown in St. Louis. Because the LAX, Team 3D, or Team Dudley, whatever they're allowed to legally call themselves, such a beautiful build-up. I'm thinking, alright, awesome, here we go. Electrified steel cage match. And they just flipped the lights off and on. You know, TNA has a ton of talent. They have by far one of the best tag divisions we've seen, man, since like the late 90s, when you had the Hardy, Edge, Christian, and Team Angle, the Dudley Boys, when you had all those guys going. You know, they've got a phenomenal tag division. They've got a great cruiserweight division. There's talent stocked from top to bottom. But the writing just sucks. So I'm going to go on to something else on this video. Apparently, Nikki Roxx has been released again. Vince won't pick her up because she doesn't want to work for the E. The Playboy curse has hit TNA. Traci Brooks was released. I guess she could either A, go in the ring, or B, talk, as Hogan would put it. And apparently they also signed Rob Van Dam. So those should keep me track at home. All of the game changers that TNA has done over the years, whether it be Christian, Booker T, Nash, Kurt Angle, Hogan, Flair, Foley, Hardy. If I'm leaving out anything, please let me know. You know, you add Rob Van Dam to that list. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Rob Van Dam. I really am. I'm thinking he can bring a lot to the ring. However, if the writing is still there's really not much you can do. You can put on the best in-ring product in the world. But if you kill every great wrestling segment with a poorly crafted, weak promo, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So, will I watch TNA on Monday? We'll probably DVR it and maybe watch bits and pieces of it here and there. But, you know, TNA needs to up their game. They up their game, you know what, Vince will up his game. And do I think Vince taking on Cena is, Vince's idea to help counter AJ and Ric Flair taking on Hogan and Abyss? If it is, man, does he really not care about that match.